Hello and welcome to Diana Who Fitness and today's video, which is the second Engaging Your Core video in my Total Body Awareness series. Today is going to be slightly faster paced than last time, but we are basically continuing with what we were doing last time. We're going to be just learning how to engage our core and how to make it a habit and how to strengthen those muscles so that we can always have that important stabilization when we're working out. We're going to do a couple more exercises than last time. They should be about the same challenging level. However, some of them might be just slightly more challenging than last time. The repetitions will vary depending on the exercise, and mostly it'll just be a time rather than a number of repetitions. So that's it. So let's get started. So let's start down on our mat again this time, with your knees bent, and grab behind your thighs and slowly roll yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. And when you're here, just pull your heels in slightly. You want your knees to be hip width apart. And we're going to start the way we did last time and just take a few deep breaths. Okay, so inhale and exhale. And again. And exhale. Okay, and just take a second here, and just like last time, let's make sure that we have our core engaged, and especially our pelvic floor here. You want to have your lower back against the floor. You want your shoulders neutral, not shrugged, not pushed forward, not back, just neutral. And you want to have everything in your abs here engaged to pull your pelvis under, because you don't want to be engaging your lower back here, of course. Okay, so now that we've reoriented ourselves, we're going to extend our legs and keep them together here. Okay, now you can feel as soon as you extend your legs, you feel your back arch, right? It lifts up off the floor. Okay, so we want to put that back down, right? So how do we do that? Well, first engage your glutes, engage your pelvic floor, your lower abs, and then your transverse abdominis, your muscles along your spine. Make sure they're all isometrically engaged. Just take a second, we'll breathe here. Okay, so this exercise is a Pilates exercise, and it's called roll-ups. And as you can see, we start with our legs extended. So this is why it's slightly more challenging, because you have to make sure that everything is constantly engaged, because you don't want to use your back here at all, and you don't want your shoulders to go up. You don't want to push with your shoulders. Here, it's all about the core. Okay, so you have your legs extended. Don't lock your knees. Point your toes up to the ceiling. Make sure your core is engaged. Make sure your back is against the floor. And then extend your arms over your head. Make sure when you have your arms over your head, you want to make sure that you keep your core engaged still. Okay, so here what you do is you take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, start to pull your arms over your head. And then when you get here, your shoulders will come up. And again, keep your shoulders neutral. See, I push them forward. You don't want to do that. Keep them neutral. And then here you're going to feel the abs starting to engage, right? So up. And then here, when you come up, you want to flat back. And then you can pause here if you want to, or you can just go straight through the movement. Push your fingertips over the tops of your shoes, or even further, if you can grab your ankles. You could take a second and take the stretch, but if you feel any pain in the backs of your legs, pull back. You don't want to go too far. You don't want to injure yourself. It should never hurt. So just go as far as comfortable, and then take another breath in here and come back to this posture. And again, check your shoulders. Make sure they're neutral. And then make sure your abs are engaged, because you're going to start to go back here. Exhale. one vertebrae at a time, using your abs, using your core, your glutes, and return to this position. Okay, so let's try it together now. Okay, arms over your head, make sure your core is engaged, and inhale, and exhale. Up and inhale, and back again. And again. Couple more times. One more time. The next exercise that we're going to do now is called rolling like a ball. It's a Pilates exercise. It requires balance, so it really engages the core. The original exercise, you have to have your heels right up against your buttocks while you roll back and forth. That's a little bit more challenging, so we might get to that in the future, but for today, we're going to use a modification. So, start with sitting up, good posture with your knees bent, and put your hands behind your knees and just sort of hollow out your abs here and engage all your core muscles. And then lift your legs up like this. And here, you have to balance. So you'll feel your glutes working, and especially your lower abs. Keep your shoulders neutral here. And so find your position before we start to go. Make sure you feel really stable here. Okay, and your thighs can be together, but they can also be apart. You might need them to be apart just a little bit so that you can balance better. So, okay, here we go. And now here, you want to be rolling on your spine. So you're not going to, for example, you don't want to just go back like that. You want to really hollow out your abs here. So go back, roll up, and then find this position again. Hold it, and back down. And again. This is sort of a massage for your spine, and that's why we're doing it early here, because I think it'll help us warm up a little bit. About 5 more. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hold, 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 hold. Good job. I crawled up my mat a little bit here. Our next exercise is the bird dog with a little push-up. You probably have heard of that before if you've done yoga ever. And this is sort of a gentle stretch and little work for the core. So start on all fours with your knees about hip width apart, your hands under your shoulders. And here, we're going to start with a neutral back. Make sure that your core is engaged. You know now. And you reach out one arm and one leg, and make sure you're using your glutes here. Keep your pelvis tucked under. And then back, and then down, and up. And then put that one down, up, in, down, and up. I'll show that to you one more time. Okay, so leg out, arm out, keep your core engaged, back in, hand down, leg up, push up, back up, and down. Same again. Okay, so let's do it. Make sure that core is engaged. What do you think? 2 on each side to finish up here. And 1. Good job. So next, we're going to do a little stretch here first. Pull your knee up, either your right or your left, and just kind of gently move it around in the socket. Just let those muscles loosen up a little bit. And then straighten it up to the ceiling, and your foot can just kind of be loose here, relaxed. And we're going to stretch the back of your leg a little bit, but it should never hurt, so don't pull back too far or too fast. What you can do is breathe into the muscle, and then when it feels tight, you can release it. And then pull back again, release, back. And when you feel like the muscle has released, you can hold the stretch for a little while. You can lift your head up a little bit, get a little bit of a deeper stretch. Okay, and then release your hands, but keep the leg up and shake it out a little bit. It's probably a little tight. Okay, now we're going to do leg circles here. So, even though we're not using this leg in a concentric way, we do need to isometrically keep it engaged. So, make sure your back is down. Make sure that your core is all engaged. Make sure your glutes, very important, your glutes are engaged here. Now, like I said last time, if you have any wobbling, you're not using proper form. So, I'm going to demonstrate this exercise to you first, and then you're going to do it together. So we're going to do circles that way, and then we're going to do circles that way. And you can start wherever you need to start. If you have to start like this, that's perfectly okay. That's completely fine. But where you want to get is where you can do this. That's where we're trying to get. Okay, so you ready? Okay, leg down, make sure your core is engaged. Leg up, and we're going to do 5 circles each way. Okay, so put your hands down, and maybe you can use them to sort of anchor you a little bit. Make sure this leg is all engaged, and here we go. Keep breathing. And 1 more. Okay, now back the other way. And don't lose control of your leg here. And 1 more. Okay. Now bring that leg in. Let it loosen up a little bit and then send it out. Okay, now we're going to do the other one. So bring it in, just roll it around in the joint a little bit, loosen it up, and then up. Ooh, my hamstring is tight today. So breathe into it. Release. Again. And again. And this time, see if you can hold. Lift your head up. Not if it hurts, though. Don't do it if it hurts. That's what she said. Okay. Hands down. Make sure everything's engaged here. And remember to keep your back down, keep your core engaged all the way through the movement. 4 and 5 and back again. I think this is 5, but I'm not sure, so we're going to do one extra one if it is. And last one. All right. Bring both your knees in and kind of massage your spine, let your thighs kind of relax. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but a double leg circle, so it's going to be both legs at the same time. And as you can already imagine, it's very challenging. You might find it difficult, but that's okay. And I want to tell you also that one modification I like for this exercise is to just put your hands under your lower back here just to support you, because it is difficult to maintain your form if these muscles are not super duper strong. So I would recommend doing that, especially if it's the first time you're doing this exercise. Okay, so bring your knees in again, and you want to lift both legs up to the ceiling, and you want them as straight as they can be, but again, you don't want it to hurt at all. So here, and again, I'm going to put my hands under my back because it makes the exercise much easier to control this way. But you don't have to, but it's what I recommend. So, okay, so it's the same thing as the single leg circles, but it's both legs instead. So you can imagine how difficult it is to keep all these muscles engaged through this very challenging movement, because your legs are pretty heavy. They might not be as heavy as mine, but they're pretty heavy. So, okay, so it's the same thing. Breathe in, and then you want to go down, and here, again, you don't want any wobble. So around, and you only want your legs moving here. One way, and then the other. Okay? So we're going to do that a few times. We'll only do it 5 times each way. Well, that's what we did with the other one. Okay, here we go. Keep everything engaged. Really focus. 3 more times. Are you keeping your core engaged? And once more. Okay. So now we're going to do a standing or sitting exercise called the wall sit, which is pretty much what it sounds like. Basically, you look like a chair, but you're holding yourself up. And so here, you want to have that nice 90-degree angle on your knee joints. Your toes should be pointed straight ahead, your quads engaged, your back should not be arched, but your pelvis should be tucked under, and your spine should be ground into the wall. And then you just hold. And we're going to hold for 30 seconds. So, get yourself into position, ease yourself back to the wall, and when you're ready, go down. And make sure that you have the 90-degree angle here. We're going to hold for 30 seconds. And do not assist yourself. Keep your hands off. How's the weather there where you are? Here in Wyoming, it's freezing cold. But it's almost always freezing cold in Wyoming. About 15 seconds. Keep holding. Keep breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. So this next exercise actually starts in a full plank. So put your hands under your shoulders, neutral back, and then put your legs out. Make sure your core is engaged here. And then keep your hands there. Make sure you're all sturdy here. And then leg. 1, 2, leg. 1, 2, leg. 1, 2, leg. 1, 2, and one more. 1, 2. Good job. So now we're going to do an exercise that's slightly more challenging called the pike crunch. And as you may guess, it starts in the pike position. So you want to have your hands under your shoulders here and your fingers pointing straight ahead. And you want your feet hip width apart. Bring in your pelvis here, tuck your pelvis under, keep everything engaged. And then you go into pike position. And make sure here that you have your core engaged. It's easy to arch your back here. So you want to have your pelvis tucked under. You can bring your hands in just a little bit for this exercise. Make sure your pelvis is tucked under. And then bring your leg up. Make sure you're using your glutes here. And then bring it in. And use your abs here. And then we'll bring it back up. And then put it down. And then we'll do the other one. And again. Two more each side. One more. And that's it. Release down. Now we're going to do an abs exercise called X abs, which you might have heard of before. You want to lie flat on your mat and put your legs out. And you want to create basically an X with your arms and your legs. Now make sure your pelvis is tucked under. You want to feel your glutes pressing against the floor here. You want your back flat. Shoulders neutral. And take a breath in. Touch your toe. That's it. That's all. Touch your other toe. Breathe in as you come down. Exhale when you go up. Keep that core engaged. How does it feel? If it feels too difficult, you can always take a break. Keep that pelvis tucked under. And we'll do 2 more on each side. And last one. Good job. Bring your knees in. Take a break. That's all the most hard work for today. We are going to do one more stretch. And that'll be it. It's not too bad, is it? I don't think so. Okay. Okay, we're going to do down dog to rocket. I know you guys know down dog for sure. Some of you might know rocket. So again, hands under the shoulders. Go out to down dog position here. Make sure your core is engaged, your pelvis is tucked under. Don't lock your knees, and if it feels a little painful in the back of your legs here, you can bend your knees a little bit like that. Stretch them out. Let's just take a moment here to do that. 1 foot at a time here. And both down. Okay, so this is our starting position. And then come to full plank, and then rocket. And here, it would be really easy, when you go here, it would be really easy to arch your back here. Keep your core engaged. Okay, and then back to plank, and back to down dog. And again. I breathe in here because I know my diaphragm is open. I breathe in and then exhale here. Shoulders down. Make sure you're using your core. Keep your pelvis tucked under. We'll do about 5 more. Two more. and good job. And release. So now we're going to continue with the plank, with full plank. So put your hands under your shoulders again. Feet out. Make sure your core is engaged. And then here, reach for your ankle and back. Reset your core. Then the other one. And again. Keep your shoulders down here. Don't arch your back. Make sure your glutes are engaged. And I find this exercise kind of fun, to be honest with you. This is one of my favorites. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Keep breathing. How about 2 more on each side? And last one. And down. Good job. So just to wrap up here, we're going to do another spine stretch. So again, you want your legs to be out. Don't lock your knees, but you do want your quads engaged here. You want your toes pointing up to the ceiling, and you want to keep everything engaged. Right here, you need to have your glutes engaged, and you have to have your pelvic floor especially engaged. So check your posture. Put your fingers behind you and push your chest forward. Reach your arms out to the sides like this. Make sure your shoulders are neutral here. Okay, take a deep breath in. And then hold it, and as you turn like this, you want to basically slice off your pinky toe with your hand here. So let's do that together. If you can't reach that far, just touch your toe. That's okay. And if you can't even do that, touch your leg, touch your shin. Okay. Take a deep breath in and hold it and twist. My shoulders went up. Keep your shoulders down. And then down as you exhale. Get as close to your leg as you can, as long as it doesn't hurt. And then back up. Inhale, hold it again, and twist. Same thing on the other side. I feel my shoulders coming up. Let's just do 2 more each side here. One more each side. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this workout. I will be releasing another one a week from today. I hope you'll come back and practice this one in the meantime. But until then, see you later.